They crept up on us in the silence of darkness, like an army of Black Panthers. Swift, precise, and super evasive. We were outmatched in every concept of the word. This was it for mankind, as our curiosity and ego had finally caught up with us.
Connor! Connor!
My mom screamed at me with a crying, trembly voice. I jumped out of bed and tripped over my sandals and fell to my knees. My vision was blurry. There were sirens blaring non-stop. My 6-month-old sister was wailing to no end. My mom kept screaming my name. It took me some seconds before I came to my senses.
Yes, Mom?
I yelled as I got up and made my way to the living room. My mom was standing in front of the TV, crying, rocking my sister, trying to soothe her.
Take your sister. You and her go into the basement and do not come out. I'm going to grab some more supplies and I'll be right behind you.
I panicked and stood there frozen, heart racing, as my mom instructed me to take my sister. Her voice faded, as all I could hear was what was being said on the TV.
Extraterrestrial beings have taken control of all nukes around the world and have launched them. Seek shelter in basements or the nearest shelter you can find.
I said to myself, but I'm about to be 12 in 2 days, and I'm not even going to see 18.
Connor, do what I say, now!
Mom cried out to me as I recovered from my days of self-centered confusion. I took my sister and made my way through the back door. Our basement was in the backyard with a beaten-up wooden door to cover it, and we hardly ever go down there. I took out the flashlight from the bag Mom gave me, turned it on, and placed it on the floor so I could open the door with one hand while holding my sister. As I shined light into the basement, I could see a table, a chair, and 4 inches of stagnant water on the floor. It was smelling horrible. I turned the light switch on, but the basement light was hardly any use. The sound of my sister's voice grew more deafening as I brought her down the stairs and put her on the table to lay on her blanket. I gave her the pacifier to try and calm her down, plus the sirens got lower once we were inside. Mom said she was grabbing some stuff, and she will be right there with us. However, every waiting moment was dreadfully scary, and I never felt more terrified. I started to think about my dad. He just started a welding job, working on an oil rig out in the ocean. I wondered if he knew what was happening, and if he felt scared. He never seemed to be scared of anything. I really wished he was home. I heard what sounded like footsteps approaching the basement, and said to myself, that must be Mom. My sister was no longer crying, and was staring at me. I then realized I no longer heard the footsteps.
Mom.
I called out. I heard no answer, but I could hear the faint whistling of the sirens and the wind against the battered basement door as it creaks. I remember asking myself, what's this terrifying feeling of helplessness, and felt myself fighting the inevitable urge of breaking into tears as I looked at my sister's confused gaze. And then the flashlight went dead. I knocked it on the side like I see in the movies, but it didn't work, and right then the power went out and it was pitch black. I heard what sounded like footsteps in the still water of the basement. The door was closed, so I knew it wasn't my mother.
Mom. Mom. Mom.
I started to yell scared out of my skin, and then my sister started crying again. I held her close to me as we lay on the table in the dark basement. I closed my eyes tightly to the sound of the footsteps approaching from the water. As I trembled in fear, I felt something breathing against my leg, and that's when a cold touch to my skin gave me the sensation of a slimy alien-like creature touching me is all I could imagine.
Connor, let's go,
said my mom as she opened the door, shining a flashlight on us. I opened my eyes with joy and realized that it was the neighbor's dog that was in the basement with us. Must have gotten trapped and was scared.
Give Trudy to me. We are going to go to an actual safe shelter,
she said. She came halfway down the steps and took Trudy from my hands. For 6 months old, my sister Trudy was very intelligent for her age. I was about to turn around and grab the neighbor's dog, but then... there was an explosion with a flash of light brighter than day. And I remember looking up the steps as the ground shook beneath us, and I lost my balance and fell backward into the water, hit the back of my head on the table, and instantly passed out.